We've been exploring the historic part of Mexico City for a couple hours, and we've seen 1 million people and not one American. We are the only American tourists in Mexico City right now. This is the Temple Mayor. These ruins were found like 30 years ago in Mexico City, and this is the original temple of Montezuma, and this was the Aztec capital. And they knocked it all down and they built Mexico City on top of it. So now we're in the historic district in Mexico City, but there's a protest.
They're defending their right, something to do with science education. I'm thinking they cut their funding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Is that the art?
So we're in this restaurant in the old town called... The menu was a challenge because we ordered guacamole, but it said con chila...
I forgot already.
Chicha Inez or something.
We Googled it. It's grasshopper.
It's grasshopper.
Actual grasshopper.
They actually harvest grasshoppers and they put it in the guacamole.
Yeah, I lost my appetite. He said the soup is like a special, this tortilla soup is a specialty of Mexican culture. Apparently this restaurant won an award for this particular soup. That's why we got it. How's the specialty Mexican soup?
Wow, that's great.
Is it amazing?
These are the original steps. This is how the steps should look like. You can see remains of the red color.
Yeah. Shouldn't have had a Bloody Mary.
So I think this was an era of peace because there are no walls around the city. The city is very open to everybody.
Really want to see you. Really want to be with you. Really want to see your love, but it takes so long, my love.
Does this site make you feel like this is your heritage?
Yes.
Right?
Most of the Mexicans feel that because after the Mexican Revolution, that's where the big excavations started.
Oh, right.
Because this is your heritage. This is the mestizo heritage.
That's our heritage.
So right now these temples are all just stone. That's all you see. And they covered the stone with some cement and everything to try to hold them in place. But originally, the entire pyramid was covered with plaster. And this is the original plaster here. And so you didn't see any of the stones. It was just like a flat stucco surface, and then they painted the pyramid red. So both of these just looked like solid slabs of red. And that was the original design of the building. Super cool. Look at the size of that pyramid from here. It's huge. All man-made. There's no hill under there. That is all stones from the ground up. So I just learned from Caesar, our guide, that the biggest pyramid in Giza, in Egypt, has roughly the same dimensions as the base of the Pyramid of the Sun here. But because the Giza pyramid goes to a point at the top, it's 100 or 200 feet taller than this one. So now we're in the middle of the square and we're standing on the altar. And I'm not going to tell you what happened here. This is one of the coolest things we've ever seen in our travels. If you haven't been here, it's real easy. It's a 3-hour flight from Florida, probably shorter from a lot of places in the US. But you can come to Mexico City for a weekend and have an amazing time and see some cool culture and history. We're on the Malecón in Puerto Vallarta, and it is just beautiful. It's about twice as big as La Paz, or maybe 3 times.
Oh, wait.
But great shops and restaurants, and it's just a beautiful day here. We're going to head down to Marina Vallarta, which is the older marina. We're in Nueva Vallarta, which is the new marina, where Paradise Village is. So it's a 20-minute or 30-minute cab ride to get there.
Yeah.
So we decided we'd rather have a 20-minute or 30-minute dinghy ride to get there. Some great mega yachts here in the neighborhood. Here's Vanish, 180-footer with an Airbus Eurocopter up on the top. That is just shocking. Parker and Megan, my son and daughter, and my granddaughter Charlie are here. Hi, hi. Hi, you made it!
This is us on a ginormous slide. We are going to go. We're supposed to be going and we are!
Royce Cruise Puerto Vallarta starts now.
Salud!
Salud. ¿No inglés? Mi esposa habla español.
Yo hablo español. Queremos entrar a poner el ancla.
One of the panga drivers is taking us to a mooring ball and suggesting we use it for the night. Just give it to me. You got it. It's okay? Okay. Go. It's okay. Hello, donkey. The Indians live here, and the land was granted to them by the King of Spain. So there's no individual real estate parcels. It's this little valley, and there's no road to Jalapa, so you can only get here by boat. And we're just wandering in and among these little houses on these little cobblestone streets. So the waterfall's dried up right now. It's at least 100 feet tall, maybe taller. So you can still see there's a little bit of water draining there, but when it rains, this waterfall fills up and fills in, and it's a major fall to the pool here. It's at the top of this little town.
It's adorable.
It's really cool. We're at this little wood carving station, and they're selling all the little pieces. The guy who makes everything is right here in his shop. Hola. How long have you been doing this?
It's long time.
Long time you've been doing this?
About 25 years.
25 years. And have you lived in Jalapa?
Yeah, I live in Jalapa. It's beautiful.
Is this what you want, Charlotte?
She wants to buy this.
Okay, we're gonna buy that. Thank you very much for the tour.
I mean, what's the prediction of the wind right now? Is this wind or swell? Where's
Both.
this coming from?
It's wind and swell. And then the other thing is, our catamaran is held on by a yellow rope that we can't see underwater.
That these people inside.
Right. That we can't see underwater. And if that thing breaks loose, or we got a wind event or squall or whatever, you're on the beach before you're getting the motor started and out of
How
here.
about we go?
You don't like this anchorage? It seems
Look how rough it is.
it's very rough.
Become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, 'cause their father's hell will slowly go by.
Here's the issue right now, is I had a new mass camera installed and it's working beautifully. But the guy was alone when he did it, so he couldn't adjust it just right. So as you see, the boat looks cockeyed right here. So Parker's gonna switch the camera a little bit more to port and rotate it a little bit. Counterclockwise. There you go, one more. Perfect. Have you ever surfed?
No!
Have you ever surfed? Soldier, do you want to surf?
Yeah.
The wave has an impact zone, okay? It's where the wave constantly gonna break. Down all the time. When I'm paddling to the break and when I'm paddling into the wave.
This is all of our first time ever surfing.
I'm surfing for my first time. I need a rosé! Nice! Surf lesson 2018. Woo! Followed up by some Whispering Angel Rosé. Of course. Who loves Mexico? After a long day of surfing, we're heading into the town of La Cruz to try to find a restaurant with live music, which we heard there are plenty. Guys, do you get tired of having fun all the time?
So this is our latest adventure. We have these bikes, these Quando bikes that we actually love. We bought them for Lauderdale. The problem is they're really too big for the boat and too heavy. So every time we want to use them, we're like, we gotta take the bike out. Nobody wants to take the bike out, so we don't use them. So we found these new bikes at our last boat show called Jupiter Bike, and they fold and they're super tiny. They're actually all electric scooters that you can't pedal them. So they just delivered these to Puerto Vallarta. We just waited for the DHL guy. So we rode these bikes over to get these bikes, and on the way, these Canadians came by and bought these from us because they have a condo here.
What are the chances that while we're sitting here taking delivery, those Canadians walked by and said, wow, those are cool, I'd like those. And I said, like them? They're for sale right now. And he goes, name your price. And I go, whatever you want to pay.
I know, so funny. So here we go with this adventure.
That's awesome.